Welcome to my live viewers and my replay viewers. I thank you for joining me for episode 9 of Connections and Conversations. And I am Dr. Tammy Donaldson, your success catalyst, speaker, educator, and mentor. And I help women who are stuck or lack the knowledge to move in the direction of more by starting with self-awareness and making meaningful connections. Thus, ultimately, preparing them and helping them to discover and uncover how to use their passion and their gift to serve others. And this is episode 9. And I just invite you to share out this broadcast if you find the content interesting to you and maybe interesting to those that you love, and your family and friends or acquaintances or colleagues, to just share this out. I'm going to do that myself right now. So, what does it mean to stay woke? What does it mean? What does that mean to stay woke? You know, we've been seeing that hashtag going around, the hashtag stay woke, and just really interested in what people think about that, and have people really thought about it, or do we just use it and throw it around? So let me just talk about my connection. So this is about connections and conversations. So my connection with this is, on Sunday, my cousin posted a video of Congresswoman Maxine Waters addressing an issue or reflecting on her internet fame, based on a video that went viral. And that video apparently engaged some of the millennials, and engaging the millennials and her grandchildren, they begin to throw out words like, throwing shade and stay woke. And so I thought that, and one of those was stay woke, and I thought, she was talking about the definitions and what it means. So that's kind of where this spun from, because my cousin Tanisha Barnes, the creator, founder, and owner of T Barnes posted that video. And I just thought, that'd be interesting to get people's perspective. So I invite you to give me, what is your definition? What do you think it means? What does it mean to stay woke? If you'll post those below, your comments. Some of the definitions that she mentioned were staying on point, stay energized, and understanding what's going on around you. And, I agree with that. I also think, it's being aware of current events. It's knowing what's going on in other circles of influence besides your own, and not being just closed-minded in that sense. And this idea of engaging in topics, not just the topics you're interested in, but other topics and conversations that are going on around you, that are hot, that are popular. One of my professors used to always say, what's hot, what's not. And so basically engaging in some of those conversations and those topics. So what does it mean to stay woke? To stay woke. So type your definition below. So I'm also curious. Another question I have for you is, when do you typically see the words or the hashtag stay woke? Like, when do you see people write that in a post? And what kinds of posts generate that? Because if we're talking about being aware of what's around you and being engaged with others, what does that mean? And so I'm just interested in what you think about that. What does it mean to stay woke? So in addition to that, I'm not seeing in the comments, so let me just go here. So for those of you coming in, I am Dr. Tammy Donaldson, your success catalyst, speaker, educator, and mentor. And this is my show, Connections and Conversations. And this is where I come to you and invite you to have a conversation with me about a certain topic that I've made a connection with, or that I know some of my viewers have made a connection with. And today I am talking about, and we are talking about, what does it mean to stay woke? That hashtag has been thrown around, but what does that mean? And so that is what I'm curious about. I wanted to get your thoughts. So please post. If you're watching this on the replay, I still want you to engage with me. The conversation does not end when I'm done. you can still engage with me. So please do that. So what I like to offer is some ways that I would think people, and some things that people would do to stay woke. I'm going to give you 10 ways that people stay woke. So, my first question is, as I'm talking about these ways, which is, I guess, is technically question number 3, is, do you watch the news? Or do you just pay attention to your news feed? So if you watch the news, place a 1 in the comments. If you watch the news, if not every day, on a regular basis. So post that below. Because I think that's one of the things that I encourage you to do is watch or read the news. It may be not every day. It may be just on a regular basis, maybe on 2 days a week or certain nights of the week. But consider paying attention to current events. And, you can get a little snap from you, and you can do that on your phone, your device. You don't have to do it in front of the television like I like to do. I love the 5:30 news with Lester Holt, but and watching the world news and seeing what's going on. So that's something I do. But you can find there's so many ways to access news these days. So stay current with what's going on around you. Read for pleasure. It's interesting to find a book that you just read for pleasure. It gives you this chance to escape and escape your world and learn about another world. And that world may not be far from you, but it may be a different perspective, even if it's a place that you visited before. So that's something that I encourage. Ask questions. When you're engaging in conversations and you're talking with people, ask questions, inquire of them. Really look at the different topics and different opinions of others. And so ask questions, and not just yes and no questions, but ask questions that are thoughtful, that are insightful, that really encourage you to expand what you already know. Don't ask questions that you already know the answer to, because that's what many of us like to do. Travel. I mentioned my cousin earlier, and one thing that she does is she gets a group of women and they travel and travel around the world, to different parts of the world. And so even if you can't explore the world in that sense, but explore the world both around you and far and wide. So if you can't go out the country, maybe your state, your country, just travel and explore and really see some things and meet different people. Typically when I am engaging in content and engaging with people, I come across something that I don't know. So number 5 is search. Search for the answer. We even have, Google is now a verb, Google it. So verb, so just search and research information. Just, when you come across something you don't know, look it up. It doesn't have to be something that you have found or that you have to ask someone about. You don't have to ask someone all the time about the answer. You can actually just look it up. That's the neat thing about technology these days. You can really just look it up. So if you're just coming in, or watching the replay, I am Dr. Tammy Donaldson, your Success Catalyst speaker and educator, and I am here every Tuesday and Thursday making connections and having conversations with you. And whether it's live or on the replay, in the comments, I encourage you to engage with me in this conversation, because the conversation doesn't end when this is over. And today's topic is, what does it mean to stay woke? What does it mean? So number 6, I encourage you to, as far as staying woke, is interacting with other people. Other people, those that you, not just those that you know, but other than those that you know that travel in your circles. I've learned so much. Just by going to the nail salon, for instance. I go to the nail salon and I'm talking to them in February, and that's when I learn about, the new year, their new year. And I learn about the Chinese New Year, the Vietnamese New Year. I learn about different things. If I go to that's something that happened at my nail salon, a few years back. Recently, I watch Janine Cummings, who's a live stream influencer. She talks about different things, and I will try to make connections with US, and sometimes she does it for me, I really appreciate that. And it just expands my knowledge. Like, we call, tank tops. We call the shirts in the US tank tops. Well, in the UK, they call them vest. Same thing like the show Shark Tank and that idea of business and that idea of that game. They call it Dragon's Den. So, these are things that I didn't learn from myself. I learned from others. And that's something that I encourage you to do. Always think about how can you stay woke and explore other things. Hello, Shantae. Thank you for joining me. I am just talking about ways that people can stay woke. I am interested, if you have a definition, if you've seen the hashtag stay woke, what do you think it means? I am just talking about some of the ways currently that people can stay woke in the terms of being aware of what's going on around them. So if you have an idea, post it below. Another thing that I encourage you to do, number 7, is to deconstruct ideas. Really be an analytical thinker. Like, think critically about things. I talk about my cousin. I was talking about my cousin Tanisha, who does this world traveling, and she's the one that posted the video that I shared in my event, Maxine Waters. I'll also post it here, so if you haven't seen it, you can see it. Hi, Joyce. Thank you for joining. But, another thing that you can do to stay woke is think critically. And look, I'm going to have this shirt on. It says think critically. This is one of her shirts, my cousin Tanisha Barnes, and I wear it usually when I'm doing my live cast here. And, so if you're wanting to stay, if you're looking at that hashtag stay woke and you want to know how to do that, number 7 is deconstruct ideas. Look at the hidden meaning. Look at the contradictions and the assumptions. Hello, ladies. Hi, Joyce. Practice global thinking. Now, I realize global thinking. Now, being an analytical thinker, most people can do that. Most people can think strategically and break things down and do that. But to be a global thinker is a little different. So that's why I said practice. If it's not your thing, just try it out and see how it works. But, it's this idea of being a strategic thinker and becoming comfortable with learning new information. There's something new every day. Somebody was telling me about something new that's coming out with Facebook, another thing they're rolling out with Facebook Live. And that was just today. Like, every week is something new. So, be open to new ideas and see the big picture. Like, see what is the big idea? What are the big pictures? And of course, collaborate with others. That's a big thing of mine, to work with other people. So collaborate with others. So what does it mean to stay woke? What are some ways you stay woke? Post that below.